So it is finally the time of the year when we get to see and experience all the upcoming video games and consoles for the next generation. Speaking of the next-gen consoles, there is a lot of new leaks we've received recently about the new Sony's PlayStation 5's release date, pre-order dates, price of the console, and the new PS5 and DualShock 5 designings and features, and also some of the new upcoming AAA unannounced new IPs that are set to be coming out on the PlayStation 5. So in this video, I'll be going through all of the new leaks as well as the informations I managed to dig up on the all-new PS5. So before we jump into this video, if you guys do go on and enjoy this video or even find this information useful, then you can do me a favor by smacking that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So starting off with the new release date and the retail price of the PlayStation 5 that recently seemed to have been leaked by multiple sources on the internet, and one of them being an account named PSE Rebus on the Twitter, who claims that the Sony Interactive Entertainment will be launching the PlayStation 5 in several countries in the holiday season of 2020, and will also be making the PlayStation 5 available in North America on November 20th, 2020 at a retail price of about $500 United States dollars. Now, okay, this is said to be the release date, but when is the actual reveal date for the console? When will Sony go up on the stage and show us the next-gen PS5 before they put the stocks on sales or even the pre-orders? Well, for this question, we do recently have a very big leak on 4chan, which comes from an anonymous source named Push Square, where the leaker here states that Sony will be revealing the new PS5 on 5th of February 2020. And honestly, this is only 2 days from the day that I'm making this video, and it kind of feels really strange, especially since Sony hasn't really spoken about any event that's coming up in this particular time period. But sometimes it is also possible that companies like this do tend to postpone the events to another date, which could also be the case because recently Sony has booked a massive haul in New York for whatever event that is completely unknown to the public, but they are indeed planning something huge, that is for sure. And this could also mean that Sony could be revealing the new PS5 on that particular event. And about this event, we will talk in much further details in a few minutes right here in this video. So make sure you guys watch the video till the end, because there are some very interesting news and sources that you guys might not want to miss out. Now, according to the source here, they've also claimed that the PS5 will be launching on October of 2020, and also that the PS5 will be priced at $500 United States dollars and 450 euros. And not just that, the leaker also claims that Sony will only be launching one model of the PS5, and that there will not be any PS5 Pro or any other later on versions for the console itself, or at least for now. But on the other hand, Microsoft will be releasing two new Xbox consoles, one being the less powerful version and the much more cheaper version of the Xbox Series X, which is said to be priced $100 more than the PlayStation 5. Now, speaking of next-gen consoles, the upcoming launch title games are something that is to be taken a lot towards the sales of the console. So the leaker here also claims to know all of the launch titles that will be coming out with the new PS5, as well as a few other titles that will be teased with the PS5 Reveal Event, or if not in E3 2020 this year. So the launch title games listed here are Gran Turismo 7, MLB The Show 21, Demon's Souls Remake, Godfall, and there's this new IP game that's coming out for the PlayStation 5 called Legends, and then Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man PS5, and now there's this really interesting new sci-fi game that is being created by Naughty Dog, which is a completely new IP for the next-gen PS5. And also we have a new IP from Sony Japan Studios and a new IP from Sony London Studios, and then we have Final Fantasy 12, new Resident Evil game, and last but not the least, Watch Dogs Legion on the PlayStation 5 using the backward compatible feature. So according to the leaker here, it is said that all of these games are supposed to be launching as a launch title for the PlayStation 5. Now, as we've already seen the amount of copies the Spider-Man PS4 had sold during the release and over the last year, it is very obvious that Sony will indeed be working on a new Spider-Man game, which I think would be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, similar to how the previous Spider-Man game was a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And I really do hope that the next Spider-Man game stays as a PS5 exclusive, mainly so that developers could take full advantage of the next-gen consoles and not just hold back anything because of the game also being ported on the PS4, and I hope a lot of upcoming games do the same as well. But I do understand that some of you guys are not yet ready to move on to the next gen consoles, and you guys still want to be sticking with your PlayStation 4s. But looking at the development cycle of a video game, if the developers are let alone to focus the development of a game on the PlayStation 5 only, then the games would be much better visually as well as on the performance wise, rather than just having the developers create a game for the PS4 and then just port it on the PlayStation 5 with just very few upgraded differences. I mean, it's just my personal opinion here. Let me know what you guys would like to have in the comments down below. Well, you might think that this could be a fake leak on the internet, which could indeed be true, but recently Sony Entertainment showed off a new Gran Turismo gameplay on a full 8K 120 frames per second being played on a 8K television. So this was actually shown at a private event in Japan by Sony themselves, and also at IFA 2019 in Sony booth in Berlin, Germany, where the game was indeed running on a PlayStation 5, which again pretty much makes me believe that this leak could indeed be very true. Now, the leak here also claims that the PlayStation 5 specs will almost be on par with the Xbox Series X. And now that the Series X is going to be more expensive than the PlayStation 5, with being a 100 United States dollars off a difference. And the leak also claims that the PlayStation 5 will be more powerful than the cheaper version of the Xbox Lockhart Edition. Now, he did say that the PS5 will be more powerful than the cheaper Xbox Lockhart Edition, but the Xbox Series X will be more expensive than the PS5 and likely more powerful than the PlayStation 5 as well. Now, like I've predicted before, it seems like Sony will be having a single mid-range console, while Microsoft will be releasing a low-end console codenamed Lockhart and the high-end console named the Scarlet. Now, the reason why I think this leak is legit as well, because the leaker here has specified that the new PS5 slogan will be "It's time to play." And it turns out that Sony has actually updated their PlayStation Europe Twitter account with the same slogan which says "It's time to play," which pretty much seems like it's going to be the new slogan for the next-gen PlayStation 5 console. Now, the second reason to why I think that this leak is legit is because a game developer named David Scott, who has a very well-received reputation in the industry, recently tweeted out saying that the PS5's reveal is less than 4 weeks away. And that this tweet was actually tweeted on January 16, 2020, and looking at the leaks here, it also seems to be matching up with the similar dates. Now, because David Scott is not just any small developer, he's the guy who's been working on multiple Sony projects, including the God of War PS4, and is also said to be working on the next God of War game as well, which is said to be releasing on the PlayStation 5 next year, which is one of the biggest reasons that made me believe that this leak could indeed turn out to be true, because David Scott is someone that doesn't really post things if it's not really true, or if he hasn't really heard about it from any of the source that he has in the industry. So I probably think that the PlayStation 5 could indeed be right around the corner for it to be revealed to the public eyes, and I'm super excited to see what Sony has to offer for us in this event. I really hope, I'm just crossing my fingers at the moment, I'm hoping that PlayStation 5 is going to be way better than what Xbox actually did, and I really want to see both the consoles compete each other and bring out great games in the future, and I'm really excited to see what Sony has to offer this time with the PlayStation 5. Now, summing up all of the leaks we've got so far and looking at some of the Sony's official confirmation on a new event being booked recently, we've now got a list of events that Sony's been posting on the PlayStation blog post, and Sony has confirmed that they're going to be celebrating their 25th year anniversary from January 14th to February 16th, 2020, where we'll be getting to see some demos and gameplay shown off, and if you're lucky enough, then we might get some games for absolutely free as a 25-year anniversary special, maybe some free games or a new free theme for the PlayStation 4. That would indeed make fans really happy too. But out of all odds, Sony has now booked a Sony event hall on Saturday, which is February the 29th, 2020, where it is now said that they will be conducting a new private event, which they haven't really made any new announcement about to the public yet. But since they booked the hall for the event, it seems like Sony is having something big up their sleeves, which I believe could most probably be the PlayStation 5 Reveal Event, which might also include a few upcoming PS5 title trailers, gameplays, or even teasers being shown off during the event. And I most probably think that the PlayStation 5 would be revealed on this particular event during the February 29th. Maybe the dates that was leaked, which is supposed to be February 5th, could probably be postponed to February 29th. This could even be the thing. But since the developer said it's only 4 weeks away from the reveal event, then all I would say is to cross your fingers and hopefully we get a PS5 reveal as soon as possible. And also I would love to see what kind of new games are coming up, especially all of the new IPs, and Horizon Zero Dawn 2 being one of the biggest, most hyped game that I'm super excited to see how it's going to be running on the new PlayStation 5 platform. Now, at first when I saw the new booking list being a Saturday on 29th February, I did believe that Sony would reveal a PS5 during this time of the period, because who doesn't love a Saturday since there are no schools, no work, and people are basically pretty much relaxed to watch a new PS5 reveal event. But then I decided to go back in time and check on when the PS4 was revealed, and then I found out that Sony actually did reveal the PS4 on February 23rd, 2013, and that February 29th seems like a pretty good sweet spot for Sony to be revealing a new PlayStation 5 console, and maybe this could be the day when we get to lay our eyes for the first time on what could most probably be the next-gen console. Now, recently a new Sony patent was filed showing off what seems to be the final design for the PlayStation 5 Retail version. Previously, we got the patent and the leaked photos of the actual PS5 dev kit being all over the internet, and we also got to take a closer look at what seems to be the PS5 DualShock 5 controller, which is claimed to be leaked by a cleaner who works at a gaming development studio, but then he got himself fired immediately after leaking the DualShock 5 pictures on his Twitter. But thanks to him, we now know how the DualShock 5 would look like, or at least what the dev kit version of the controllers would look like, which seems to be pretty similar to what the DualShock 4 looks like, except it being slightly bigger and has a lot of new features. Now, we have a new PS5 Retail version leaked patent design here, which doesn't look anything like what we have seen with the dev kit version. But looking at this picture, it looks like a mixture of the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro building block design, with some of the V-shaped elements being a part of it from the dev kit version we have seen previously. Now, the reason to why I think this could be the final retail version of the PS5 is because right after this new patent was leaked, there was an anonymous person who leaked a real picture of what seems to be the PlayStation 5 console. And taking a look at this picture here, it pretty much looks similar, or at least the same as what was shown in the leaked patent file, and there are two cables behind the console that seems to have been connected, and if I'm guessing this right, then that could be the 3-pin power cable similar to what we have seen on the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Now, thanks to this YouTuber named Zone of Tech, who managed to make a 3D model replica of the new PS5 patent design with some very high quality rendering works being done here, and to be honest, from the side perspective of the console, I personally feel like it looks really bad and very ugly sometimes. But if you place the console in the standing position, it actually looks pretty cool and pretty good enough and unique in its own ways, I guess. And I basically think that that is how it is supposed to be designed, and to be placed in a standing position and not in a lying down position. But so far, I think the design is pretty alright, and it's definitely not something that I would consider a really cool looking design. But as long as the performance is good enough, that is all that matters to me, because at the end of the day, consoles are going to be something that's going to be lying somewhere on your table, and the majority of time you're never going to even look at it, or at least the majority of us don't really do that stuff. So I don't think that looks really matter that much, as long as the console has the best performance, power, as well as good games that always keeps coming out on the Sony platforms. Now, comparing the design with the Xbox Series X, I think the PS5 really looks sleek and less heavy compared to the Xbox, and the Xbox looks really simple and very clean in the look wise, but both the designs are really good looking, and like I said, as long as we get the performance and games to be played, that is all that matters, or at least I guess that's what matters to my eyes. Now, the question that remains is, which console design do you guys like the most? Do you like the new PS5 leaked design or the Xbox Series X design? Now, I do know that there are a lot of Sony PlayStation fans compared to the Xbox fans in the comments, but all I ask for is let's keep the fanboyism out of the box and let's keep this 100% real. Now, just looking at both the designs, I want to know which one would you guys pick as the winner of the best looking console of the next generation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's see which one gets the most amount of vote. Will it be the PS5 or the Xbox Scarlet? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys want to know all the latest information and tips and tricks on all the latest video games and consoles, and especially Cyberpunk 2077, then you should definitely consider subscribing to my channel and turning your video notifications on so that YouTube can let you know when I upload my new videos on this channel. And for all of my subscribers and for all the people that have been supporting me on my journey on YouTube, I'm currently doing a Cyberpunk 2077 giveaway, which I will leave the link to in the description down below of this video. So make sure you guys go ahead and enter the giveaway so that you can win yourself a free copy of Cyberpunk 2077 on any platform of your own choice. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blast of a day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Till then, take care fams, and goodbye.